Good morning, friends. My goodness, another day, another yoga flow. Thank you so much for being here, and let's feel good together. So we'll get started here in just a few moments. I've put the link to order your t-shirt for Resident Yogi and the Feel Good Gang. All the profits go to GARDP. It's amazing. Check the link. Be part of the community. Be part of the solution of saving lives. If you guys know me for a while, you know that I'm always in this funny way through clothing, trying to find a way to help us feel better and do better. For me, clothing has two purposes. One, it should make me feel good. It should make you feel good when you wear clothing. We have to wear clothing at some point when you go outside and whatnot. So you should feel good and feel good about yourself, and also it should do good. So now is the time. Now is always the time, and a little bit of a just inspiration I've been thinking about lately. My friend Emron, who is, I guess I can call him my friend. He's so nice that he makes you feel like your friends. He's an amazing person, founder of the Business of Fashion. He invited Mike and I out to his conference outside of London a couple of years ago to give yoga and Tai Chi, and Mike actually gave a wonderful talk, and he's very good at saying all the words that make sense in a row, and he gave a nice talk about going from knowing to doing and moving in harmony, which will be the theme of today's practice through yoga as well. And it was so incredible to hear the panel of everybody that Emron invited to talk about sustainability in fashion, about existential questions like, do we even need fashion? Do we need fashion weeks? Do we need all of these things? And you know, in typical genius mindset that Emron is, he has been talking about sustainability in fashion. He brought on Stella McCartney to present a talk, and they had a big ceremony for her. But this was really the spirit of the conversation of checking themselves, being in the fashion industry, and having a bit of a reconciliation of how can we move forward. Obviously, people need to wear clothes. Maybe there doesn't need to be any more clothing in the world at all, but if there is going to be, how can we have it do some good? So that's something that's always been on my mind, and I had the pleasure of working with Reebok for 5 years. It was supposed to be a year, and then it went well, so we kept going. And I got to come in, and at that point within yoga, it was basically just Lululemon and a bunch of really beautiful tiny designers that were making tie-dyed pants on Etsy and things like that were really kind of cool but super small, community focused. So from my perspective, a lot of these clothing to do yoga were very restrictive and almost like Spanx, which is Spanx is cool if you need to wear a dress and go out to a party and all of that, but why should you be wearing something that hugs you in so close when you're trying to feel good and feel better? So I don't know about you guys, but for yoga, I was always wearing and still do, old sweatpants and t-shirts and, whatever I had from my boyfriend at the time in the closet that just felt really good. I wore hospital pants all the time. I found those really comfortable. So coming to Reebok with these ideas, can we make really baby soft sweatpants that are comfortable, that you can still move in, that aren't super baggy, but more streamlined, but not restrictive, and that makes you feel confident about yourself, t-shirts and things like this. So that was really the first wave. And then I learned about sustainability and impact a lot more, especially within a big company like Reebok. So I started to educate myself about dry dyeing and different ways you could create clothing without the huge waste. So we started to do a few of those things. And with a big company like that, you do one little thing and you make a big impact. So now I'm back on the other side of things, tiny little company, Strala Yoga. And we're at the beginning. So this is one shirt. All the proceeds go to charity. You can check out the site that makes the shirts. They're awesome. They're great. They're shipping everywhere around the world. So thank you so much for getting on that bandwagon and helping save lives. So all the profits go to this organization. So I'm very happy to pass that through and to enjoy. So hopefully you guys are feeling all right. Hey from Indianapolis. Iran, hello from Iran. If you don't mind saying just where you're from and how you're feeling in the comments, and we'll get started with a nice moving and harmony flow. So it's another rainy day here in New York, but remember the rain brings us nourishment. I love the rainy days. Makes me feel nice and cozy, especially because we're staying inside. So it's not a challenge it doesn't feel like, oh my goodness, I just want to go outside and, do the outside things now when it's nice like this. So, all right, good morning, good morning. Let's do some yoga. So again, this is just for comments. I'm not checking my email or anything like that. That would be rude. So thanks again for being here. I'm not sure how many days in a row this is. I think we're coming on 50 if we haven't already. So it's looking like we'll be here for New York, at least in this capacity, till May 15th, but maybe longer. I'm assuming it might be a little bit longer, or even as restrictions are eased. We might not be traveling. We might be traveling, we're not sure. So we're trying to see what's happening, what's possible with the world, with everything everybody's doing. So thanks for being here. This is just such a highlight to my day to be with you guys, to feel good. And thanks for being awesome, helping me feel better as well. And practice, right? All right, so take your time. Settling in here. Let yourself move a bit side to side or forward and back with the goal of finding all those little places that could use a bit of help right now, a bit of nourishment. We'll focus today on moving in harmony with your whole self, like we do every day, of course. But with this practice, taking that focus of moving in harmony with your whole self, and as a result of that, noticing how you feel. And that's when the really interesting opportunity happens, when you notice how you feel while you're moving in alignment with yourself. You have an opportunity, you have a chance. I love thinking about this as a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Every time you notice what's going on with you, that's your once-in-a-lifetime chance to do something about it, to make a change, to take a breath, to notice how you feel. I know I'm not alone in this overall feeling in this time right now, noticing how I feel, noticing what's happening around me, noticing how I would like to be in the world, having a reconciliation with myself, allowing myself the flexibility to change who I am, to change the things that I want to do, allowing the permission to be and do anything at all without restriction. And that anything at all becomes grounded and useful when you have this practice of moving in harmony with yourself. And then simply noticing. That grounds this action into finding out all the good stuff that you want to do and simply empowering yourself with the endurance to do them. All right, I'll be quiet. Eventually finding a neutral place. Let yourself be soft enough so your breath can move you. Big inhale. Long exhale. Big inhale, reach your arms up. Your palms together. Plug in toward your center. Really connect your hands to your body, maybe your thumbs right up into your heartbeat there, hands to your belly. Take a big inhale. Long exhale. Twice more, big inhale. Long exhale. Once more, big inhale. Long exhale. relax here. Crawl out onto all fours here. Lean to the side. Go easy on your knees. Crawl around here gently. Did the class just start? Yes, we just started. Welcome. Slide around here. Oh, thanks. You guys are answering each other. I love it. So nice. Again, yeah, please feel free to make friends here in the comments. Everybody that's here is doing something good for yourself. So that's a great basis to relate. I love that about our groups when we go anywhere, really. Can be in a room of a bunch of people with completely different life stories, completely different, pretty much everything. And that becomes so unique and so beautiful and not scary at all, because you're really grounded in the safety of, well, we're all here to feel better. And that makes everything okay. I think it's such a beautiful way to relate to people in the world, not kind of ungrounded in all of our differences that we can be taught that are scary. When we're feel safe that we're all here to feel better, then so much more beauty is possible there. So scoot your knees back a little bit here. Gently sink your hips. We're coming on down for an easy opener. Maybe stay high or a little lower. Poetry alert. I know. I get all corny, especially in situations like this. Usually I don't lead a class in this way where I'm kind of talking about the harmony and the movement the whole time, unless we're in a workshop doing something kind of specific here. But I feel like, you know, we've got a bit of a chance here to chat and practice, you know, together. Especially I've got you guys right here on my right hand, literally. All right, come back, tuck your toes, lift up and back toward your down dog. Settle in, little bend in your knees. Gentle shift to your hips here to find that right spot. So move a bit from your hips, but soften your body here so you can move. If you're rigid and tense, nothing is possible. Nothing can be moved. You're just stubborn in yourself, stuck in your ways. And we all know what happens from there. Not much. And crawl out toward that plank pose again, nice long wave. So if you haven't kind of figured it out, this practice is going to be a nice kind of slow, gentle opening so we can feel. Side plank on your right side, lift up, roll right. Hello, Justine. Open everything up. All the way back toward your middle. Lift up, roll up, big easy stretch. All the way back here toward your middle again. Drop your knees down. Sink here, roll around. Hello, smolder raise. You can be late, it's all good, don't worry. High or a little lower. Love that even in all of our physical together classes, you can always be late because we're always connecting with ourselves. We're not moving in a way that's more safe in the beginning of the class and less safe in the middle of the class. So it's really important to make sure whatever you're doing actually makes sense for you. Settle in. We'll crawl up toward the top of your space there. Shift your hips a bit side to side, sliding along. Drop over your legs. Round everything all the way up towards standing. Take a big inhale to stretch. And easy up and over your legs. Here, crawl right. Slide your left leg way back. Low lunge. Drop through your hips. Little rock side to side. Easy forward and back. And drop your back knee down toward the ground here. Simply opening up. Okay, I was debating whether to share this with you guys or not because it's a little maybe boring. Just cut me off if it's too much, but especially dreams, you know, nobody wants to hear about my dreams. But I did have this dream I thought was pretty interesting for the time right now. All right, let's move a little bit more. Tuck your back toes. Shift up and back toward your runner stretch. Lean a little left, lean a little right as you go. Drop over this leg and relax this foot. So I had this dream that there was some sort of announcement that everybody was deciding. It was sort of what's happening for the next year, trends and sort of trends to say. Everybody was deciding that that Strala yoga was the way to do yoga now. I mean, everybody, like all the yoga styles and everybody was this. And I remember just being so happy, not because, okay, Strala yoga, you know, whatever, our community, branding, this and that, but because we're moving with harmony, moving with ease. So the bulletin that came out, it wasn't that, you know, everybody is now calling themselves a Strala yoga guide. It was more that people have decided in huge masses that force, tension, and rigidity are no longer useful, and they never were. Okay, crawl back out toward that low lunge. So I was just so excited because that's really my mission, to help people move through yoga and move through life in a way that's harmonious and not injurious in all the ways. Tuck your toes, lift up, drop your torso over your legs here, easy. Okay, we'll sink right back toward that low lunge, scoot your feet a bit apart, so it's not so much a megalomaniac, is that the word, lift up, but it was more, everybody just came to this agreement that, wow, we don't need to force, push, and struggle in our yoga practice because it's just becoming amplified in our lives. So we can practice moving in harmony. Sink here. One more time. Big inhale, lift. Easy all the way back down. Lean left. Slide on back, plank pose. Side plank on your right side. Lift up. Roll and stretch open. All the way back here toward your middle. Lift up, roll and stretch open. All the way back here toward your middle. Drop your knees down. So I was really excited because honestly, it's saddening to me to see people coming, even to our programs, that it's sort of like a deprogramming in a way, that holding on to this rigidity gets you ease, right? Holding on to this idea of force will get you peace. It just doesn't work that way. I mean, if you look at any science, you look at any nature, it doesn't work that way. Why would it work if you clench your hands to the ground? Why would that produce anything good? It simply doesn't. So it was a pretty cool dream. We were all collectively deciding to move in harmony. Crawl back up toward the top of your space there. Easy. Drop over your legs. Roll everything out. Hello, cat. How's it going, friends? Bonjour. Lift up. And easy. Up and over your legs. Crawl left. Slide on back. Low lunge. Cat's an awesome Strala guide in Paris. Actually, she made us a nice video to share on the Strala page, which is really sweet. A lot of the guides have been making how-to videos for the Strala Instagram page. So for me, it's really beautiful to see the ease and the harmony expressed on everybody's different body, with everybody's different background and ways of explaining things. Nothing to me is more beautiful than harmony expressed through individuality. I mean, there's beautiful things, but I love that. So nice. And we love it too. It's sort of we as in, you know, who doesn't love that? Who doesn't love somebody that's relaxed, comfortable, open, and moving in alignment with themselves? That's really the goal. Tuck your back toes, keep this back knee on the ground, shift up and back toward your runner stretch here, easy. Relax over this leg. Again, see this foot, this is an old yoga habit, just let it go. And maybe press the top of your foot with your thumb. I'm searching around for any point that feels extra nice for you. Breathe big. Crawl all the way back out toward that low lunge. Tuck your back toes, lift up, drop your torso over your legs here. Easy little bend in your knees. Drop your head and neck. Sink right back toward that low lunge here. Scoot your feet a bit apart. Roll up through your middle high. And all the way down. Lean toward that right palm. Slide on back, plank pose here, top of your push-up. Side plank on your right side. Lift up, roll from your hips. Everything opens. So moving here from your middle instead of your arms and legs. So much when you're coming around is just first heels or whatever like that. I don't even want to do it, but move from your middle. Lift up, roll, and stretch open. Let's see what happens if you let all those funky yoga and life habits go. All the way back here. Drop your knees down, sink your hips. You know, if you have yoga experience, it's almost harder than coming to something like a practice like this without any. You know, up dog is, you know, I don't know very many people that aren't moving with us that have learned up dog like this. It's mostly, I don't even really want to do it, but knees up off the ground, which puts an incredible amount of stress on your lower back. It's not good, guys. I think, you know, there's so many things that aren't good with yoga, that aren't good with moving with rigidity, but it's really on us. It's on each of us to look at how we're moving and if it's really not good. If we're suffering through something because of body position or because of force, then how can we make it better? How can we make this more useful? So it's really on us. There's no need to respect something that didn't work. There's no need to, you know, we don't stay in relationships, hopefully, that don't work. We don't stay in jobs that don't work. We don't, you know, keep pants that don't fit anymore. So things like that, right? Lean left, lift your right leg way up and back behind you. Down dog split, roll open here. And low lunge, lean left as you slide that foot under. So lean to unweight before you bring it through. A little bend in that back knee, roll up through your middle high. And sink low here. So much of yoga, just come back down, is this kind of a thing. Again, there's no need for that. That is just a terrible way to move. It's just not good. I give you one reason why that's good. That does not strengthen your lower back. It's just ridiculous. It's not good. It gets me really aggravated because it hits my injustice flag there. So bend in your knee, roll up through your middle from your center, lift, sink here. You won't see any professional athlete moving badly. If they do, they get injured. They can't do their job anymore. So why do we do it in yoga? Because we're crazy. Lift up. Because we're worshiping some old man, twist, who's dead, who was a child abuser. And that's just the reality, guys. So hate to break it to you, but you know, our sort of modern romanticism of yoga is deeply messed up. So we can start to respect ourselves instead of respecting the old man behind the curtain, right? Okay, so turn your back toes in a little bit there. Sink your hips, and that's the true authenticness of this practice. It lives inside of you. It's not out there with the old man in the sky. Lift everything up. And easy back down. But it's very easy to trick people when you feel good that that doesn't belong to you. Big inhale to lift. That's the basis of all bad actors, all cults, yoga cults, religious cults, same thing. You feel good, you don't deserve that. That's because of me, right? Imagine if I said that right here. That's terrible. That's so mean. But all yoga gurus say that. Not good. Tip all the way back, reverse. So it's just important to have these conversations with each other, have these conversations with yourself, roll open and see how you're moving and how you're participating in that and how you can drop the tension and participate in something a little bit more healing. Lift up through your middle and sink low. So, you know, I don't really respect a lot of yoga. I don't see the need to respect something that's causing harm, whether it's injury, whether it's abuse. And I encourage you to, you know, listen to yourself and have those reconciliations as well. So come back all the way down here. Drop your back knee down. Crawl toward that open side. Slide this top leg all the way around. Rolling around here. So, okay, so I'm verging on like getting myself in trouble mode, but I really, you know, this is really the truth, and I think it's important to speak the truth to power, all that stuff. All right, down dog, lean right, lift that left leg way up and back, roll it open. A low lunge, lean right, slide that foot on through so that left hand can come up a bit there and relax. So roll up through your middle, respect yourself here, respect your back, guys. Lift high and sink low. Lift up. Twist toward your front leg from your belly, everything open. So you're moving from your center. Lift up, roll open, warrior two. What happens when you start moving in harmony with yourself? Well, all kinds of good things happen. You start to move in harmony with yourself all the time, because how you practice is how you do everything. So really our practice time is a chance to decide, am I going to like destroy my body and tell my thigh to turn this way, even though that's anatomically not true. You can't spiral your legs, people. Don't listen to the old man that told you to do that. There is no inner and outer spiral of your thighs happening. If you've studied movement or dance or athletics, these are things that are normal. But somehow yoga has gotten a free pass for way too long to teach us how to respect our abuser and deny our inner voice that tells us what's right and what's wrong. Okay, I'll try to keep it more light here, big, and I'll just stretch. And easy, back down. But when it comes to moving in harmony with yourself, it's not just an alternative. This isn't an option to rigid yoga, guys. This is a choice. Do you want to be rigid, or do you want to be in harmony? And if you're rigid, you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting everyone around you, everyone you come into contact with. And unfortunately, a lot of that side angle, rest your forearm toward your thigh, a lot of that is not your fault, because you have been taught to obey something that is really harmful. Come on down. Right hand and the left hand. So it's important to stand up for what you can see is not right. And, there's this whole crawl toward this open side, slide this top leg around. There's this whole, so how does this apply to Iyengar yoga? Okay, really? Iyengar yoga, stick beating, alignment from the outside in. Okay, let's just talk about a movement perspective. Let's take the abusing men and women off the table for a moment. The people who want to dominate you emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually, and tell you to live your life in the way that they want you to live and do all of that. So let's just take that off the table for a moment. Oh, you guys, I get really riled up. Tuck your toes, lift up and back. So let's look at the movement here of a pose-based system of yoga, which is all systems of yoga, unless you're moving in harmony here. Crawl on up, drop over your legs. So a movement system like Iyengar, lift up, will tell you that there is one correct position for everybody's body. So you will get into a position, and then you will fix, and align the position after you're in it. You will put yourself in a box and then close all the doors, metaphorically, instead of how Tai Chi teaches us, how movement teaches us, how basketball teaches us, and dance teaches us, and everything under the sun teaches us, how the grass grows up, that an inhale lifts you. Make sure you're in the right form. Exhale, sink. So you're moving into alignment instead of forcing your way from a pose into tweaking and perfecting a pose. And in Iyengar's case, one of the nice offenders of yoga, in Iyengar's case, lift up. It's moving into a correct alignment of a pose that worked for a very specific person in history to help some crippledness of a very specific person's body, and then was passed on to be the God-given truth for everybody. So, you can go to an Iyengar class, and I'm sure there's some lovely Iyengar teachers who can take a method and make it their own by making it softer and less injurious and things like that. But the basics of Iyengar yoga is do a yoga pose, and then I'm going to tweak you, force you, wrap you up with a string, a yoga belt, and put you into a position that is not your own, where you will feel inadequate and never good enough. And you will physically never be in the good enough position. So yeah, it's very different than moving in harmony. It's practicing suffering so you can endure more suffering. which honestly is the basis of a lot of yoga. Practice suffering so you can endure suffering. Sort of wait for the afterlife. So let's move a little bit more. Lean left, lift your right leg way up and back, roll it open. Low lunge, slide this foot under. Let's go for a warrior one. Spin your back heel down, roll up through your middle, lift high, and sink low. So again, here, if you were in basically any yoga class with very nice people, because this has been passed down for many generations. So you're going to get a 25-year-old, a 35-year-old, a 45-year-old nice person who's going to come to you and do this, and going to come to you and do this, and tell you to, and then guess what? You're going to feel like crap emotionally. It's not going to be the right place for your body, and you're going to get injured, and you're going to be dominated, and you're learning all sorts of weird, funky social habits of being dominated by your teacher. So lift up and sink. Fortunately, I'm not making this stuff up. Unfortunately, I'm not making this stuff up. But Tai Chi teaches us to put your body in the position, body position. There are rules. There's rules of nature. Put your body in the position, so feet where they are. Lift up. Inhale, lifts you. Exhale, softens you. So even when you're still, your breath is moving you. Big inhale from your center. Easy. Drop your hands down. Interlace your hands. Inhale, lift up. Easy. All the way up and over. Relax your hands down. You're 26 and you're happy to be here now. Yes. I love when really super young people come to this practice of moving in harmony. Let's save you the trouble of being with a bad, even well-intentioned yoga teacher who's going to teach you all kinds of weird, funky, bad habits that they learn from their abuser. Have to break the system sometime. All right, twist toward your front leg. Maybe just hang here, moving from your hips. If it's nice to bend that back knee, catch a hold of your foot, go for that. And again, also in all other yoga, you guys, options are meant for if you can do it, do this. If you can't do it, do this, right? Can and can't, instead of what feels right for you or what's appropriate for your body, not just in a flippant way, what do you want to do? Sorry for the animated voice, but that sounds a little bit more decisive from your mind without a more intuitive connection. What do you want to do? More of what feels appropriate for you. And how do you know what feels appropriate for you? You slow down enough, good enough practice moving in harmony with yourself, then you know. And sure, you need a guide to help you, as if you would climb up a mountain. If you're going up a mountain, you don't need to do that by yourself. Crawl toward your open side, slide this top leg around. So when we started a small studio in Mike's apartment here, let's keep on going. Lean right, lift that left leg up and back, roll open here. Low lunge, lean right, slide that foot on through. So warrior one, spin your back heel and roll up through your middle high and sink low here. So, roll around a bit from your hips to find that centered place here. So you're not, no force. Lift up. I said that kind of forcefully, just to be funny, guys. Sink here, warrior one. So I really didn't like the word yoga teacher. I thought it was ridiculous. Everybody was using it. Teacher is something that's meant for school. It's meant for, in the yoga community, somebody to dominate you, to tell you what to do. And Mike is a mountain climber. And he said, well, when you climb a mountain, you usually have a guide. And a guide is somebody that has been up the mountain many, many times before, hundreds of times before, and can show you the way. I'm like, that's it. That's what we need to call ourselves and anybody that we associate with as guides. And I noticed that a few other organizations, I guess, have adopted that term over the years. A lot of people call themselves yoga guides. And I just hope that they back it up with how they're moving, how they're breathing. I don't need any credit for inventing a term. I didn't invent the term. A guide is something that's very practical in mountaineering culture, has nothing to do with yoga. Yoga, again, is about dominating somebody else, about imparting the knowledge. So teacher is the correct term. But if you want to come up and over, show somebody the way, crawl on over. If you want to show somebody the way and you've been there before, then, I have a problem with anything that doesn't make harmony make sense to me. So I had to change that word for just our purposes. It's funny, we, have friends that help us with our website and they say, use the word guide. What is that? That's so weird. I'm like, yeah, I can't do the teacher thing, guys. I just can't do it. It doesn't make sense in the English language. Yeah, it's hard to, what do Strala guides do? They lead classes, they do this, they lead workshops. It's our version of a teacher training program. So they have studios around the world, partner studios, they teach yoga in gyms. They're kind of like secret agents of yoga change. They go around, it might not even be called Strala on the schedule, but they lead in this way. And then people are like, whoa, I feel so nice. And we're not very clingy. We're not, a big, bad corporation. We don't force people to call themselves Strala guides at all, but, we all like to be a part of our own community, so that's nice too. But a lot of people, they go out, they lead yoga, they teach classes. They're just like every other yoga teacher, except they're doing it in a way that is in harmony, right? So we're multiplying around the world individually, which is very beautiful. All right, crawl back out toward your plank pose, nice long wave. And no Strala guide is a carbon copy of another one, right? I'm a Strala guide. Some of the people here in this class are Strala guides. Yes, we are secret agents of change. Drop your knees down. So we go undercover and we take classes everywhere and we put ourselves in the room and we move with a bit more harmony. And then people come up and they say, what are you doing? That looks nice. It doesn't look ridiculous. It doesn't look like we're, disobeying any teacher here. But we're moving in a way that feels good. We're moving in a way that respects ourselves. We're not respecting the teacher. We're saying, okay, what you say is fine, but I'm going to respect myself first. Drop your arms down and just simply stand here. Let's find a easy, balanced place. Put a little bend in your knees. Shift your hips a bit side to side, or gently forward and back until you find that nice, balanced place. Let yourself be soft enough so your breath can move you. Take a big inhale. Long exhale. Big inhale, reach your arms up. And easy, all the way up and over your legs. Or crawl your hands out a bit. Lean some weight into your arms and sink on down for a nice squat. Roll around a little side to side. Drop here, open up a bit. Moving around the shape in a way that feels nice for you. Come on down to sit here, ease yourself down, and any kind of forward bend that's good on you. Maybe the bottoms of your feet come together for this swan, or legs stretch open, or another way that's good for you. Crawl yourself back, open up, and easy, all the way up and over, maybe around one way or toward another way. Easy here. The interesting thing here is, all of our collective conversation around harmony is in, recognizing the faults of the yoga different traditions, right? So, but it exists everywhere, right? It's not just yoga. This is everywhere you look in life has the same faults. So you have a choice in all your different worlds that you live in, whether it's your work world or your church world or your school world, to see what's working, see what's not in harmony, and decide to make a change here. Let's do one more forward bend. Maybe feet come together, another bend that's nice for you. Crawl yourself back open, and easy, up and over. So just to take the forms that we explore with Strala Yoga, Tai Chi and Shiatsu, they don't get a free pass. They're less heard of these days. So there's, I asked Mike, because I'm looking at some old Tai Chi videos and reading some books. It's very dogmatic. It's very much do the movements like your teacher does them, to the degree of wearing the same squishy shoes, or having your finger be a certain distance apart from the other fingers, because people would really idolize their teacher. And that doesn't work. Idolizing a teacher only makes you never, ever, ever as good as your teacher, never connected to yourself. But when you take the message of the teacher, and if you have a good teacher, they're going to tell you how to move for yourself, then you can become the best version of you that way. You're not trying to be like them, which is pretty cool, right? So it's the same in Tai Chi, it's the same in Shiatsu. Sam Berlin ran a school in New York for a long time with a very charismatic owner who was a megalomaniac, I guess you would say. So all the same things in the Shiatsu world, right? Very interesting guy. I met him once, and I don't respect Shiatsu. I'm not part of that world. I respect Sam a lot. So I met this other guy, and I saw all the same similarities that I've seen over the years, and all of our yoga teachers that have been exposed in criminal scandals. I remember 20 years ago going to John Friend workshops and being like, are you kidding me? This is not good. This is going to go bad. And all of my friends that studied that style were like, be quiet, you're not respecting the process. And I'm like, no, I'm not. You're right. But this conflicts with just being a basic good human in so many ways. And 20 years later, you get a scandal. But we have to learn our lesson. It's not so much about gossip. It's about learning to respect ourselves, learning to move in harmony with ourselves, learning not to lose ourselves in what we're doing, and connect with ourselves. So harmony is a good thing. Anything else that's nice for you? Maybe a gentle twist side to side, or bottoms of your feet come together. If you want to go for a gentle bridge, lift up through your hips, roll around. I guess just sorry for the long rants this morning. Really wasn't a plan at all. But I think it's nice sometimes to not see something that you're doing good for yourself as an alternative to something that's harmful. It's really a choice. Do you want to do something that's useful, or are you spending your time feeding into the harm? So choose harmony here. And just let yourself rest here for a bit. Big inhale. Long exhale. And simply rest. Feel free to stay resting here as long as you like. When you're ready to gently bring yourself back up here, take your time. Moving as easy as you can with yourself, being gentle with yourself as you move. Roll a little side to side here. Easy forward and back. Find a nice centered place. Give yourself a chance to notice you. Notice how easy it is to let go of what's harmful. When you see how wonderful it is to be in harmony with you. Yourself be soft enough so your breath moves you. Big inhale, reach your arms out. Your palms together, plug in toward your center. Big inhale. Long exhale. Twice more. Big inhale. Long exhale. Once more. Big inhale. Long exhale. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Welcome back. My goodness, that was a big one. Apologies for all of the rants. Hopefully this practice of moving in harmony can seep into the rest of your day. And I know it's really easy to get riled up about how everything out there isn't in harmony and these people should be doing this and these people are wrong and this is terrible and I can't believe that's happening, right? That's everywhere sort of all of the time. So we have control over ourselves. We can control if we're moving in harmony with ourselves or if we're choosing force and aggression and rigidity. So every moment is a once in a lifetime chance for change, for moving into harmony. And from there, anything is possible. So I know in my own one person, one test subject experience, it's incredible. I notice a massive, massive change just from myself, but also what happens around me, what's able to happen for me in my life, the harmony that I can see in my family and my interactions, my work, Strala guides, when I'm being in harmony with myself, I can relate to the world from a much better place, a much more harmonious place. And from there, we can really affect good change. So, Ram Dass was on the ball with this, be the change you want to see. It sounds corny to kind of say this and regurgitate these things, but that's really about moving in harmony with yourself, being an example of what you'd like to see around you. Instead of yelling at somebody, you can say, okay, how am I going to be in myself the best that I can? How can I create a right distance between myself and that situation or that person? How can I create a dance, a nice partner dance, and proceed from there? So this isn't about manipulation. This isn't about psychological warfare or abuse or anything like that. This is about recognizing that those things are out there, they exist, not turning a blind eye, but how can we be proactive in helping ourselves feel better? So every action we do is positive. Every action we do is purposeful, is meaningful, is making us feel fulfilled as we respect people's differences, as we encourage people to do better by simply being better ourselves, not being pushy and forceful and all of that. So hopefully this is interesting for you guys and fun, and most important, feels good. So it's an intellectual exercise or discussion about something is one thing, maybe useful for creating positive change, but only useful if it makes a home in you in a nourishing and effective way. So love you guys so much. Thanks for being here. Grab a t-shirt. I know that sounds corny, but all the proceeds are going to GARDP to help save lives. So go check the link on the site. Thank you so much for doing that. Yogis for social good. We can all be a part of the positive movement. We all have an equal chance to make a difference. Alone, we can do some good things. Together, we can do so much. So not just thinking of everybody around the globe doing that, but the people around you. If you're alone, then you can have yourself to have this time to really have a reconciliation, to cultivate, to reflect. If you're having a family, if you have a roommate or whoever it is, then you get lots of practice right now to find harmony around others and together with others. So I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Thanks for having a conversation with me. You guys are amazing, and love you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And buy a t-shirt for your friends and family. Call it Christmas gifts. That's what I'm doing. Everybody's getting this t-shirt for Christmas. Kaiser, I mean, come on. I can't believe he's so generous to design this for us. And we'll try to make some more good in the world happen together. But every single moment, every breath is a once in a lifetime opportunity to do something positive for yourself. And it's so good. I remember just so many people I get the pleasure of being around at our events and retreats and conferences. You want to go stand next to that person that's taking really good care of themselves because it oozes off of them and you just feel better. So Thank you so much for all of our community that I've got to bump shoulders with in person and feel better because I'm around you. And thank you for seeing when you're not in alignment with yourself and you can take the time to reassess, reconcile, and move in alignment with yourself. So this isn't about doing it right all the time. This is progressing on a path where we can all improve and moving with harmony together. So thanks for putting up with me, you guys. And I will see you in the morning again for some more yoga. So love you guys. Message me anything you want. Happy to chat. It may take a little bit to get back, but you guys know how it is. Okay. Love you guys. Mwah. Have a great day.